Monroe Jr., and you're chilling with Jay Calderon Boxing.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Jay Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment, and we're about to get into this week's boxing talk. Saturday, September 16th, it's the much-anticipated showdown of 2017, the big mega fight between Canelo Alvarez and Gennady Golovkin, Triple G. Now, before we get into that fight, there's another fight that's going to be taking place over in the UK between WBO middleweight champion Billy Joe Saunders taking on Willie Monroe Jr., the Mongoose, who's traveling over from the United States to the UK to take on this challenge against the world champion from Great Britain. And I gotta tell you right now, this fight is a very good fight. A lot of people question Billy Joe Saunders. I know he's had very few fights over the last few years, but a lot of people are sleeping on Billy Joe. Billy Joe is a very good, skillful boxer. He's still undefeated. He had those good fights against Chris Eubanks Jr. and also Andy Lee, where he looked very impressive in those fights. Willie Monroe Jr., very nice guy. He did an interview with me. You can check that out on my YouTube channel, Jay Calderon Boxing Talk. He's in great shape. He's working really hard, and he's going over to the UK to do what Errol Spence Jr. did to Kell Brook and tried to snatch that title away from the British fighter. And I believe that he has a good shot to do it. But it's going to be a tough task. You know, Willie Monroe, he has good boxing skills. The guy has quick hands. He also has good footwork, tremendous heart. He's not a big puncher at all. And he's going to go in there trying to outbox and beat this man in a 12-round fight. And I think that it's definitely going to go 12 rounds because either man are not known for knockout power. Billy Joe Saunders has a bit more power in his punches than Willie Monroe. But I think that the southpaw skilled fighter in Billy Joe is enough to claim a victory in this fight. He's going to be using that jab. He's going to be using good movement. And he's also going to be able to plant harder shots than Willie Monroe. He has tremendous heart as well. And he's a tough guy. You know, he's not going to back down in this fight. It's going to be a good, interesting fight. But in his backyard of England, I believe that he will get the decision nod and walk away still undefeated and the WBO champion. And what's next for him? He's looking for the winner of Canelo Alvarez and Triple G. He would like to face either one of those guys and unify the title and become the undisputed middleweight champion of the world. Now, moving along to the pay-per-view event that's going to be taking place in Las Vegas. Yours truly, Jay Calderon, will be flying out there to watch this event, and it's going to be a mega event. And boxing fans are really excited about this fight because it's two fighters in their prime facing each other at 160 pounds in the middleweight division, and it's going to be fireworks. You know, Canelo Alvarez is Mexico's biggest star right now. I watched him since his early career, since he fought on Manny Pacquiao and Miguel Cotto's undercard, and I've seen him grow as a fighter. He's become better and better with each fight. His defense has improved. His footwork has not. He doesn't have great footwork. He stands right there, but his upper body movement has been very good. It's been better. He's been able to move and slip punches. He's tried to mimic a little bit of Floyd Mayweather style. A lot of people said that since that loss to Floyd Mayweather, he's definitely grown from that defeat. And I gotta agree, he's been an improved fighter since then. He breaks down his fighters with his punches that he puts together so well. Excellent body puncher. Good jab that he delivers. He has that quick hand speed. Triple G is going to be the biggest fighter that he has faced, aside from the obvious, which was Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. And that guy was really no match, as Alvarez put on a clinic against him. But both men have strong chins. Both men can take good shots. And I see Triple G as the bigger man that's going to outweigh Canelo Alvarez in this fight. He's the natural middleweight. He has a strong jab. He goes to the body and he breaks his opponents down as well. He comes forward. He's a straightforward fighter, but he's a fighter that knows how to cut that ring off. He will trap you in the corner and he will bang you up against the ropes. Very hard-hitting puncher. This guy has that freakish power. I know people question him saying that, is his hand wraps legal? Has this guy been taking steroids? It's going to be drug testing for this fight. Canelo Alvarez is going to have to try to knock out a man that has never been to the canvas as an amateur or as a pro. And in the amateur ranks, he was an outstanding fighter that won silver medal in the Olympics. So he has a great pedigree, Gennady Golovkin, and he is now undefeated as a professional in 37 fights with 33 knockouts. He had that 23 knockout streak before he faced the best fighter that he has ever been in the ring with, and that is Daniel Jacobs in his last performance. Yours truly was there at Madison Square Garden, New York City, to see that fight, and it was a great fight, a very close fight, razor thin, where I believe that the knockdown was the factor in getting Gennady Golovkin, Triple G, to become victorious in that fight, because Daniel Jacobs showed tremendous heart. He also outweighed Triple G by about 15 pounds on fight night, and he was able to come back from a knockdown earlier in the fight and box beautifully with his quick hands, landing some hard shots. He's a very good puncher, and he stunned Triple G with some very good shots. But Triple G wasn't able to be dropped in that fight, and he pulled out a narrow victory against Jacobs. Now, people are feeling that he's not the Superman fighter that a lot of people thought he was, and that Canelo Alvarez is possibly getting him at the right time. Maybe Triple G is getting old, but we're not going to make any excuses, because Gennady Golovkin is the best middleweight in the world. At 160 pounds, he has reigned for over 7 years as the champion, making 18 title defenses throughout that title reign, and we got to give him props and credit. He has beaten all the top 10 middleweight contenders in the division of 160 pounds. A lot of people would like to argue and say that he has fought nobody in the division, and that's not true. He hasn't fought an A-quality fighter, a star power fighter like Canelo Alvarez. People want to bring up junior middleweight champion Aslandy Lara. I'm a big Lara fan, and Lara has talked a lot of smack, but he has never stepped up to 160 pounds, just like Kell Brook did, to take the challenge. You could talk the talk, but if you don't make a statement, you don't go up there and try to demand that fight, you're just blowing smoke. And that's exactly what Lara has done and his team. We know a lot of people are saying that Triple G has not moved up. He could have moved up and faced Andre Ward. He was willing to go for the big paydays against Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. and also against Carl Froch to go fight at 168 pounds, and he never took the fight with Andre Ward. Let's really be realistic. We know that he said that he would fight anyone from 154 to 168 pounds. His team is not going to allow that. We know that the risk is not worth the reward. Andre Ward does not bring the money that a Canelo Alvarez could bring, Floyd Mayweather, or even Chavez Jr. and Carl Froch. Those guys would bring much more millions of dollars for Triple G to take the risk. Let's put it to you this way. Andre Ward and Sergey Kovalev did not make the amount of money that Triple G is about to make in this fight against Canelo Alvarez. That's just facts. And if you really want to dig deep, how much did Kovalev actually made against Andre Ward? $2 million, maybe $3 million off of his fight, and less for the rematch, because he's not a big draw. A guy like Chavez, who Canelo Alvarez fought for that same reason, it's a big money payday fight. The risk is worth the reward. And also, Carl Froch would have attracted a lot of money in the UK, just like Kell Brook and Triple G, because of him fighting a British fighter. But when you look at it in a business standpoint, just like Conor McGregor came over from the UFC to fight Floyd Mayweather, the money is just so big that you're willing to step into the ring and talk that smack because you know the risk is not that high. Going up against a guy like Andre Ward, who is bigger than Triple G, and a guy that's definitely more skillful than Triple G, and most likely going to beat Triple G. And I'm a Triple G fan, and I'm going to admit the true honesty that Andre Ward would beat Gennady Golovkin. The money factor is not a big enough fight for them to make that risk. So this is where we're at right now. Triple G is going to fight Canelo Alvarez and then move up to 168 pounds and try to take on some big fights up there before moving up to a light heavyweight, perhaps before his career is over. And if Andre Ward is there, I believe that fight could happen, because then it will be much, much bigger fight. And Triple G has made all the best business decisions leading up to that fight. But this fight right here, it's going to be a close fight. It's going to be an all-out war between these two fighters. I expect fireworks. Will it be Hagler versus Hearns? That type of fight? I mean, it could be. We could see these guys gun blazing from the opening round because Canelo Alvarez, a lot of people thought that he wasn't going to take this fight. He gave up his title in order to continue the business plan of having big fights and making big money before moving over to taking on this type of risk against Gennady Golovkin. It's just business. A lot of people, including myself, do not like the business side of boxing. But these guys put their life on the line to really make the most amount of money they can, so we can't be mad at them. We're getting the fight that we finally wanted. It's coming at the right time. I believe both guys are going to give us a thrilling fight. Will somebody get knocked out? I'm leaning towards no. I think this fight is going to go 12 rounds because both guys have great chins. Both guys have been in the ring with each other, sparring. We don't really know who actually got the best of them. These guys have improved so much since then that I believe that it's going to be a much better fight once they step into the ring, and I can't wait. Like I said, I'm going to be there to see this fight up close and personal, so it's going to be a beautiful event, a big attraction. A lot of stars are going to come out. Canelo Alvarez has the quicker hands. He has good upper body defense, and he has punching power. But he's going up against the biggest guy that he has faced that has true boxing talent, not like Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. This guy, Golovkin, is the real deal. I mean, he has a beautiful combination display when he unloads those punches. But the flashier one is Canelo Alvarez when he releases his shots. And I see Canelo Alvarez winning this fight because he is the more popular fighter. He is the money fighter now that Floyd Mayweather has retired from the sport of boxing once again. Canelo Alvarez is the superstar of boxing and the cash cow for Golden Boy Promotions. So I believe that he will get the decision nod just like he has done in the past. I thought he lost against guys like Austin Trout and Islandi Lara. Triple G is going to have to stop Canelo Alvarez. Can he absorb the punching power at this weight against such a dangerous puncher like Gennady Golovkin? And he does have a little bit more skills than Golovkin to survive and do well enough to earn a decision nod. So I'm leaning towards Canelo Alvarez winning this fight, but I'm 100% a Triple G fan since day one when he captured that title. And I hope that he's victorious in this fight so he could prove all the doubters wrong, that he was able to beat a superstar like Canelo Alvarez and then move up to bigger and better things. If he wins a fight, there is a rematch that is involved with Canelo Alvarez, but there isn't one for Triple G. Canelo Alvarez does not have to fight Triple G if he wins, and I believe that a Miguel Cotto rematch is in store later on this year if he's victorious. Now, if Triple G wins, the plan is to go after Billy Joe Saunders and capture that WBO title to fulfill his dream as the undisputed unified middleweight champion of the world, and then move up to 168 pounds and probably face a guy like Gilberto Ramirez for the WBO super middleweight title. But that's my fight analysis and predictions on the fights that are going to take place. So tune into this mega fight. Team Triple G all the way. I'd like to thank everyone for tuning in to J. Calderon Boxing Talk. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel by clicking that little red subscribe button, putting your email information in so you get all my notifications once I drop a new video. Please follow me on Instagram and also on Twitter, and join the Facebook boxing group page, all under the same name, J. Calderon Boxing Talk. I'm J. Calderon, Stand Clear Entertainment. Thanks for your support, keep watching, and please subscribe.